Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andrew from AR Media. In tonight's video, I'm going to review Cabin in the Woods in 4K UHD Blu-ray. Now, I've seen this movie a bunch of times. It's one of my favorites. So I'm going to go over the movie quickly, the picture quality, if it's worth the double dip. Let's get to it. So I got the Cabin in the Woods, and I got this a little early, and I was super pumped about that. So this is one of my favorite movies in the last couple of years. So this is a mixture of horror and comedy, and I'm so pumped that we're actually getting some quality horror on the 4K format. So this movie really mixes like teen slasher flick, teen like Cabin in the Woods, like the name flick, with a comedy aspect. Now I don't really want to spoil anything, and it's hard to really get into the movie without spoiling anything, but let me tell you that the movie itself is very fun. A lot of twists and turns in the movie, and the ending will definitely catch you by surprise. Highly recommended movie. Now let's get to the picture quality, what you guys came here for. Now this is a 2K digital intermediate upscale to 4K, and what this brings is, it brings a nice increase in detail, but nothing night and day difference from the Blu-ray. Now this is a Lionsgate release, and it's typical with a lot of other Lionsgate releases similar to Snitch, where the increase is nice in detail and clarity and depth, but it's nothing to write home about. So you'll see an increase in fibers on clothing, you'll see an increase in, pores on the skin, the normal things you'll see an increase in, but it's nothing really drastically different. It's just a nice subtle increase over the Blu-ray. Now let's get to the HDR now. This is where the movie shines because a lot of the movie is dark. So the HDR really helps you see those highlights in the shadows. It really helps you see those little details in the dark because a lot of this takes place in the really dark parts of the woods, and a lot of the scenes are just not that well lit. I think it was the director's intention. So the black levels in the HDR in that aspect help a lot. The black levels in this are also inky black, so that really also helps with the representation of blacks and the shadow detail. Now the HDR also brings the wide color gamut, and the colors are really nice here. The colors pop off the screen very nicely compared to the Blu-ray. Again, it's not a night and day difference, but the colors, when they are prominent, they do pop off the screen. For example, when they're first pulling up to the cabin, the bright green of the grass, the luscious green, especially when they're doing the low ground shot, and the dark brown, even the brown kind of looks rich. It has a richness to it, and also on the clothing you'll see very strong hues. Another hue that's very strong in this movie color-wise is red. You'll see a lot of red, and when you do see red, it pops off the screen. That's another thing where HDR shines. Another thing I wanted to hit on is the grain on this disc. So this was shot on film, so there is a nice amount of grain. The UHD does resolve it a little bit, but there is still a good amount of grain on here. So for people that aren't fans of grain like myself, sadly this one doesn't have a lot of it, but so does the Blu-ray. So anyway guys, that's really it for Cabin in the Woods. I recommend picking it up, but that's just because how much I really like the movie. This definitely isn't a necessary double dip, but for the price they're asking, which is a little bit over $16, I think it's worth it, but then in the end, it's really up to you. Anyway guys, let me know in the comments below if you plan on picking this up. Subscribe down below for more content, and have a good night guys.